Brew, do you still believe in the Bengals?
I do. I still think they're a top-tier team.
Wow.
Like Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Philly.
So
I still think
they're on par with Kansas City and Philly.
Yep. I do think they are. I mean, you lose games.
Where's
all the
Houston?
best teams are going to lose
Is
games.
Houston on par with them?
No. I mean, no. But I really think Cincinnati is still up there. This is the third straight year they're 5-4. Obviously, they've gone to the AFC title game both of those years, and obviously the Super Bowl once. There is a problem, though, because the division and that conference weren't quite this tough. I mean, this division is monstrous. And as you pointed out, Nick, they're 0-2 in the AFC North. And then their record is poor in the conference.
They're not going to have the
so they're not
tiebreaker
gonna
with
win
anyone but Buffalo.
Right.
They'll have it with Buffalo because of the head-to-head. That's
right.
it.
But, yeah, anybody in their division, most likely they won't have it. I know the schedule. We talked about no opponent is below 500 at this point that they have going forward. Indianapolis is the weakest one, but that's not necessarily an easy game.
They're tough.
But I will say this. I do think that the Bengals can go 6-2. And that would obviously put them at 11 wins.
Well, that'll get them in.
Get you in. 10-7, the problem is you probably are in the tiebreaker mode. So and that might not get you in.
Okay.
Looking at I actually think Baltimore, they're my pick for the AFC. I think they'll beat Cincinnati this Thursday.
Okay.
So you think they're then going to go 6-1 after Thursday?
I think they will lose one other, whether it's to the Chiefs. Obviously, they play well against the Chiefs. They might split with Pittsburgh, but I think they can go 6-2 going forward.
Listen, I think that they are in incredible trouble. I think the bizarre to me, hey, Joe Burrow's played well for 3 weeks. Should he be the league MVP? That conversation, had a half-life of
I like that
6 hours.
I liked it.
And I understand everyone is going to put it on Boyd because they could have stolen a win. But the fact of the matter is this. Cincinnati, on its opening script, drove down and scored a touchdown. Right. On their next 6 drives, they gained 32 yards. They had 2 total first downs, and Houston took control of the game. And then when Cincinnati got re-engaged offensively, Burrow, on the drives before that pass to Boyd, threw back-to-back brutal picks.
Weird ones.
Weird, bad, uncharacteristic throws. And because they're not going to have the tiebreaker with anyone but Buffalo, Greg, I think that they are in dire shape. And I think if they lose to Baltimore, they're cooked. Right now, while I'm a big fan of when we do the tiers, talking about it's not the standings.
Right.
The later into the year you get, the more relevance the standings have.
Absolutely.
And right now, they have the same number of wins as the Colts and the Raiders. Now we can say,
we know
the
a lot
Texans.
of that is, and I agree, they are in trouble. But a lot of that we can agree on was Burrow was hurt.
I agree, but now that's the position they find themselves in, and now they have the hardest schedule in the league remaining. I think they are approaching. It's too late to come back from territory.
Yeah, I'm still confident because they do have Joe Burrow, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in our game. However, if they lose, I'm completely against you when you talk about this Thursday. If they lose this Thursday, I think they're done. Because when this game right here that we just witnessed them losing, you see Joe Burrow at that press conference. That's one of those. We can't lose this game. We had it. We slipped because he understands what they're up against. Their margin of error is slim to none. Right. In losing that game in that fashion, you talk about people blaming Tyler Boyd. I am starting to get away from the idea of we can't say one play lost the game.
Oh, you're into it now?
I am into it. Because we say, that play won them the game. We always say that. Yeah. But when that play right there, that drop, and I'm not trying to point the finger at Tyler Boyd. Obviously, I'm doing it. Yeah. But it lost them the game.
Can I give you a quick pushback on that, which I think segues nicely what we're going to do? Look at when we show this play, look at the time. There's a minute 38 left. Would have put the Bengals, assume they make the extra point up 4. I am not at all convinced that's a game-winning score because C.J. Stroud's on the other side.
Yeah.
And I know they ended up going for getting a field goal, but it's a different scenario where if they have to get in the end zone and what C.J. has shown and what he showed even on that drive.
All right, so let's turn our attention to C.J. Stroud. Continues to amaze everybody. That's a shot at Cincinnati too, bro. I'm sorry. You got
Shot
Texans.
at
Well, you got Texans fans in Cincinnati. Come on now. Here's the numbers: first in TD to interception ratio, 15-2. First in passing yards per game.
Wow.
First in long throws. I know we're kicking around this MVP conversation a lot, but Nick, is he officially in the MVP conversation?
He's in the conversation. He is not the MVP to me, and I think that here's the conversation I'm ready to have with C.J. Stroud. He is 2/3 of the way to the greatest rookie quarterback season ever. Right now, I don't care what the stats are. Just Cam Newton, RG3, Andrew Luck, Justin Herbert. Those are the 4 best full rookie quarterback seasons I've seen. Thus far, this is better than all of them. Marino was unbelievable for half a year. Mm-hmm. This is better than that.
Ben was it? No?
Say it again?
Ben Roethlisberger had a good one.
Nah, I disagree. They won. They were like 11-0 or something
numbers
when he played, but I don't think
they didn't rely on him.
They didn't rely on. No. And so to me, that's where it's at. If we can show you, I thought maybe the play of the day in the NFL was a play that didn't count from CJ because they said the receiver stepped out of bounds. This is the type of stuff that I watch it and I'm like, yeah, there's no chance that this is too early. This guy's got it. Mm-hmm. And Greg, listen, Brew was dead on before the draft. He said CJ Stroud should have gone number 1, and a lot of things be different across the NFL right now if he had gone number 1. And so I'm ready to have all those conversations. I'm also ready to have this conversation. I think Houston's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at their schedule the rest of the way, their 2 toughest games are home against the Jags and Browns. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think having that tiebreaker with Cincy will matter. I do not think, right now my MVP is still Myles Garrett, Brew. Really? If he was before last.
Jalen Hurts, Garrett's fine because nobody's pulling away right now. But 5-4 won't get it done. That's the only thing keeping it. 9-8, the equivalent kind of won't get it done. If they make the playoffs at 10-7 even.
Don't you think they have to win the division?
See, there we go.
I do. This is a team that's won 11 games over the previous 3 years. They won 3 games last year. They got a new coach. They don't have a wide receiver or a running back that anybody really knows. All right, he's throwing to Tank Dell, and Nico Collins wasn't even there. Nico Collins wasn't even there. But I'm just saying, no Pro Bowlers, none of that. He's got Schultz, Dalton Schultz.
Devin Singletary was the running back yesterday.
And so, when you look at the context, and early in the year, 4 of their offensive linemen were
yesterday
injured. They had
6 starters.
So if he takes his team from 3 wins to the playoffs, and no one, Mahomes, Hurts, Lamar, they don't pull away. And it's iffy. You could even say Garrett. Then I think he's got a great chance of winning it and probably would be the MVP.
He's obviously having a tremendous year. I don't think he's quite in the conversation yet. Yes, he's putting up a lot of great numbers. But for me, it's what you don't believe. It's what you believe. He has to win this division, which I believe.
Just getting in the playoffs won't do it?
I don't believe so. You have to make a splash. When you are trying to
become a first rookie to win it since Jim Brown.
We're talking about something that is tough to do. And as a rookie, all the numbers are aligning. Everything is just the wins and the losses. But when you look at that game, I'm not surprised that he's doing this. He's been doing it all season long. Atlanta, the game that they lost against Atlanta, he takes them down, he scores, but Atlanta ends up with the ball and they get the field goal. Panthers, he does the same thing. He's been doing this all season long. If they win those 2 games, 7-2, different conversation. Yes, we're talking about C.J.
He's
Stroud.
on pace to do something that only Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have done. Rodgers won the MVP that year. Brady didn't win it because that was the year he was suspended for 4 games.
Is that Matt Ryan's MVP
year? Yeah. So he may have won it had he not been suspended. But that's 60% completions, 275 yards a game, 7-1 TD to interception ratio, and 100+ passer rating. He's on pace to do that.
Greg, quickly, we only have 30 seconds. Is he going to get better as he sees more defenses, or defense is going to get better at stopping him?
No, he's going to get better.
He
clearly has it. He processes the game. He's playing like a 4 or 5.
Veteran.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's going to get better. And I
love
the way they paired him with young talent so that they can grow and develop together.
And one bet D'Amico's going to be coach of the year. 100%.
At this point he is.
You don't think Belichick?
He got an extension.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.